Hello, hello, and welcome to your Watercolor Kit Paint Along video! We're gonna have so much fun. I'm so excited. Let's get into it. Alright, let's go ahead and I'm gonna start digging into this one. So this one we have our alizarin crimson. Should have looked that up when I had my stick snack. And we're adding in some yellow ochre to make that nice kind of cafe au lait color. Very pretty. And I'm going to take a moment and do the very insides of, oh my goodness, too much. Do the very insides of this here, of these petals, which really show a lot of depth. We're imagining where the sun is coming from. It's coming from down here, so I'm going to go ahead and add in some darker shadows here. And I'm really, there's hardly any paint on the paintbrush. You really don't need to load it up. If it's starting to get like too gloopy or whatever, go ahead and wipe your paintbrush on the paper towel, and that'll help clear some of it off. We're adding in the second layer here to just give it some depth. And this is a light flower. We really don't want this to get to the point where it's so dark that it loses that lightness. Okay, and you don't have to do every single one. It's just doing the ones behind darker than the ones in the foreground. It gives it that sense of depth. Anytime you see the petal kind of curving up, those are usually going to be lighter. And as I'm grabbing my paint, I'm kind of going to different parts of the palette, so I'm getting a cool mix of colors, and I don't hate it. I love that it's just a little bit here, a little bit there. It feels very natural, very organic to me, and that is what we like, especially for flower paintings. So I'm really gonna add in a lot of darker colors in here on anything that looks like it's beneath something else. And this is gonna give that feeling of depth. So even this, I'm loving these soft kind of orangey pinks for fall. I think it's so beautiful. We're getting some family photos taken soon, and I specifically was like, I need to do it in a dahlia field. So I can't wait to show you guys that. And just remember, if you find these tips helpful, I have all kinds of resources for newbie watercolor artists. I have a ton of free videos on YouTube that are growing every week. I have an awesome newsletter where I share all kinds of insider tips and tricks. I'm very active on TikTok and Instagram, where I'm doing lots of mini tutorials. So if you just like to get the quick and dirty of it, you'll get lots of tips on there. I come from a background of, I used to be a middle school librarian, and so I love helping people, connecting people with information that they need to learn and grow, and so it brings me great joy to share that with all of you. So I hope to see you on the interwebs on your painting journey. I love, love, love seeing the artwork that you create. So if you ever do feel brave enough to share, I would love to see it. To make sure you tag me at Splatter and A&D Bloom. My subtle plug. And you don't have to do the same ones as me. I'm just doing my thing. You just do what feels right, or you can copy it exactly as I do. So it's slowly but surely taking shape. And of course, I can't help myself. I'm gonna have to share my fun fact about dahlias with you. Did you know? So dahlias, usually people get them from tubers, which are like, those look like little potatoes in the ground. And if you get a dahlia and separate its tubers, it's gonna be an exact clone of that dahlia. It's gonna be the same type, but if you collect the seeds of a dahlia, it could be anything. It's like all bets are off. You have no idea what that dahlia is gonna look like. And I just think that is so wild and so cool. Like, nature, you are just full of surprises. And I'm just slowly adding on layers. I'm going really slow because you can always make things darker, but it's a lot harder to make things lighter after you've already painted it. And these I'm actually making the shadow closer to the top because they're kind of curving in here just to give them a little variation. Again, it's mostly water, not a ton of paint. The little dots of paint seem like they're pretty small. They should be enough to get you everything you need for all 3 of these paintings, plus a little bit then some after.
I hope you enjoyed the preview of this design from our watercolor kit. Stay tuned for the process video in super speedy mode. If it looks like fun, check out our watercolor kits with the links in the video description below to learn how you too can paint a fun design like this.